Oh boy. So, I was going to initially make a video discussing the dog collar gate situation that was going on like a few weeks ago, but this seems much more urgent, so so I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't know how I was actually going to start this other than saying, what in the world, Twitch? What's going on? What is going on? Oh, trust me, I feel like this is going to get a lot more hectic as it goes on. Yeah, I'm probably gonna crash out at some point. So just be ready for that. So as of the recording of this part of the video, TwitchCon ended 2 days ago. It ended on Sunday. However, the situation that happened the day before. It happened on Saturday. So I feel the need to give a correction. This happened on Friday, October 17th. That was a Friday. So this did not happen on Saturday. Just forget what I said. Forget what I said previously. Just this happened on Friday. That was a mistake on my part. Oh jeez. I assume you all saw on social media, which I mean, if you're on Twitter right now, Twitter or x.com/AceTheAO, you're welcome. Selfish plug out of the way. But this is relatively serious. So at TwitchCon on Saturday, the streamer emiru, I'm sorry, I've never been able to actually, I don't know, I forgot the proper pronunciation, so. Streamer emiru was assaulted by a deranged fan who hopped the barricade during a meet and greet at TwitchCon on Saturday. So, unfortunately, if you were hoping to actually see what happened, I cannot show you because the YouTuber WestJet actually showed what happened on his video, and he got a strike and had his video taken down, so unfortunately I won't be able to show you myself. I'm pretty sure you could find the video on X Twitter if you look for it, but just letting you know ahead of time, I can't really show you what happened during the fact. But nonetheless, I will still, give my thoughts on it, my takes, and I'll show you what happened after this, things that were leading up to this event, and hopefully we could actually cover some ground and, go from there. So personally, I think the most aggravating part of this entire situation was the fact that a majority of it was very easily avoidable. And some of the points that I've actually jotted down that I've actually made about how this was easily avoidable, that there were previous guarantees that the security, TwitchCon security, at the meet and greet was airtight, they had a lock on security, they were responsive, which that was proven to not be completely accurate because the guy still managed to hop past the barricades and actually made it to emiru, which I don't know how you could easily screw something like that up. And the more damning part about this is that Twitch themselves actually made this meet and greet mandatory in order for emiru to have a show later on. So this did happen on Friday, so excuse me getting that wrong. This happened on Friday, and this was a mandatory meet and greet for Emmy to have a show the following day, so a show on Saturday. And honestly, if it were me, I would not have taken this deal because, quite frankly, I don't even trust Twitch as it is, much less going to TwitchCon and doing a mandatory meet and greet. I would definitely tell them to shove it, so. But again, that's just me, that's just what I would do. So, speaking of incompetence, the security detail that was actually present during the meet and greet was completely oblivious. I mean, they eventually did pull the guy off. They did. I will give them some credit there. But the bulk of TwitchCon security didn't even know what was going on. And when they found out, they laughed about it later, after the fact, which that's friggin' crazy. That's absolutely insane. Like, a streamer gets assaulted by a random dude, and the first thing you do after you find out about it going on is you're just laughing about it? Like, bro, come on, that's absolutely friggin' wild. I don't know why. I guess I just don't know why. That's basically what you could boil it down to. Moreover, TwitchCon actually, and the thing is, Emmy actually wanted to bring her own security guard, a very trusted security guard he was there last year at TwitchCon, but an incident went down, and TwitchCon actually ended up banning Emmy's trusted security guard, like way before the events of this year's TwitchCon, like the meet and greet ever actually happened, and I was shocked to hear about that. Emmy says it herself in the clip that I'm going to show you right about now.
I don't think that's true. Okay, maybe I should talk about this, whatever, who cares. I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon, and he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him, and the guy wouldn't stop. So he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like permabanned from the venue forever. But he didn't even hit him or anything. He just like held him while they waited for like the police to come. And,
what the fuck?
And it was like my favorite security guard. I can't have him at TwitchCon anymore. I was just like, okay, like it was so sad.
So a security guard of a streamer who is not employed by Twitch, he's not Twitch security for TwitchCon, does security guard things, protects, the streamer that they were assigned to protect, and TwitchCon ends up, permanently banning him from any venues. Can somebody tell me how that makes sense? I just feel like there's kind of a disconnect there. Why would you take the one flycatcher who is actually actively catching flies in the room, why would you take it out of the room? That's basically what you did by banning the guy. Oh, God. Again, all of this is like painful to actually just, talk about, because again, situations like this are so avoidable, yet I feel like organizations like Twitch actively try and have these situations happen. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like that's the case. So to say that the situation was handled completely abhorrently after the fact would be a massive understatement. The situation was handled terribly after everything went down. As emiru actually revealed herself that the assailant was only initially handed an on-platform suspension, an on-platform punishment, which was a 30-day, a month-long account suspension, which was ultimately bumped up to an indefinite suspension. And you know what? I'll just let her speak for herself.
I asked them, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days. What? And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a fuck if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here. So they changed it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch.
So the person who was actually speaking on Emmy's behalf was her manager, and God bless her soul. The manager was actually directly talking to the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for, Twitch, which the two channels that should actually be held responsible for how, much of a crapshoot the situation was. Like, for the love of God. So, this all goes down. Head of security for Amazon and head of risk for Twitch were contacted. What do you think the CEO, Mr. Clancy, what do you think he has to say about this? You know what? I'll just show it to you, because, oh my God, this man is completely out of touch.
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, emiru, get assaulted by a male fan, and a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there.
You heard that right. Twitch CEO, he calls for streamers to use on-platform moderation to address these issues. My brother in Christ. How does that help with IRL situations? Like, are you kidding me? Talk about actually not addressing the overall issue, like what actually happened on Friday. Talk about just deflecting it and just giving a non-answer to... I'm losing it. I'm gonna lose it. I swear to God, I'm actually... If you want my honest opinion, Dan Clancy needs to be fired. He needs to be removed from this position. He is not a leader. If he has just this complete asinine, just non-answer to the questions he's being asked during this interview. GTFO, honestly, because moderation tools on your platform are irrelevant to the situations that happened during your convention. If this guy was banned, if this guy was banned before this happened, do you think that would change anything? Like, honest, do you think that anything different would have come from the situation? The answer is no. It's an obvious no. Like, anybody would be able to understand, like, this is absolutely crazy. Like, this is just like just using moderation tools, like, that's not even in the conversation. This was just stupidity. This is absolute stupidity that came from the mouth of Dan Clancy. Am I going insane? I feel like I'm actually losing it here. So after the fact, Emmy actually explains in the same VOD where the clip that I pulled came from, that she doesn't believe that Twitch would have actually put out a statement had this clip of her not being, assaulted at the meet and greet, had it not gone viral. And not only that, she also addresses the fact that none of the other streamers that had meet and greets that were scheduled for that day and like the following day were reached out to for extra security. If they were asked, like, they weren't asked if they wanted more security to be there, which honestly I don't think that would have even mattered. But yeah, she says it herself.
I don't think that Twitch would have put out an official statement if that clip wasn't posted and going viral. And even after the fact that that clip was posted and going viral, as far as I know, the other people who had meet and greets today were not reached out to ask if they wanted extra security or if they even wanted to cancel their meet and greet. Like, maybe some people were, but I know for a fact Extra Emily wasn't. My personal manager made sure that she had extra security. No one reached out to her. Don't know about everyone, but I know that for a fact.
Which I think is crazy after the fact, because, like, okay, so this happened. You now know that this happened, and you're not going to reach out to anybody else that has, a meet and greet to make sure that you're not going to get, like, a repeat of the situation. Like, you're not going to reach out to say, hey, do you not want this guy there for your own benefit, for your own protection? Like, no one there was even reached out to, was even talked to, like, none of their managers. I think that's absolutely insane. I think that's wild, honestly, because this could have happened again. Thank God it didn't, but you could have very well had another situation on your hands. I think it's insane, honestly. This is why I could never actually go to TwitchCon. Any other convention, I could probably do PAX, like PAX East, PAX West, like conventions like that. I would never set foot near TwitchCon, honestly. That's just, like, it's for my own safety, honestly. It's just confirmed at this point. I don't think anyone's safe going there, if I'm going to be completely honest. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. So obviously, as previously stated, Twitch did loosely address this. They made a statement on X Twitter, which I'm showing on screen right now. And yeah, as you could probably gather, like, a lot of this is just corporate jargon for, hey, we tried our best. We tried our best, G. We tried our best. Our best clearly wasn't good enough, but at least we tried. At least we did try. So, not even a day later, this post was actually community noted, which I am going to show that on screen as well. Keep in mind, I'm not actually going on my way to read this, because if you don't know already, I suck at reading. If it's not like short, straight, and sweet to the point, short, straight, and sweet to the point. Short, sweet, and straight to the point is what I meant to say. If it ain't those three, I'm going to fall apart reading them. So naturally, with Twitch giving the response, many people actually ended up replying to it, and not only that, many creators as well ended up replying. So let's just go through a few of them. Bowdwell replies, "Where exactly is your security? Apparently the security guard that shoved the guy away from emiru's own security, not even your own, not a single TwitchCon staff member is in sight. Do you comprehend how dangerous it is to do anything IRL right now as a streamer?" Which, again, that is the main reason why I didn't even consider going this year, and I probably will never actually go to TwitchCon in my lifetime. Probably never. The Ackman replies with, "Twitch has zero tolerance for harassment." I don't know, man. Looked like you tolerated it pretty well. Yep. And lastly, Smuglana replies, "Time is running out," with this little image right here. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that people aren't vibing with the with Twitch's statement. The last part I actually do want to talk about it, because this is actually getting pretty drawn out. I want to wrap this up. Last part I want to talk about is the fact that two of the parties that were addressed were the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch, which actually highlights the fact that there are genuine fundamental issues from like the higher positions up at, Twitch and even Amazon. And it's pretty apparent that they are bleeding in or already have bled into like the creator consumer space of Twitch. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm just gonna let Asmongold speak on this, because I feel like he sums it up pretty much better than I actually would. So yeah.
Honestly, like, I really hope somebody at Amazon is watching, because what I want you to understand is that the moderation team at Twitch is completely deranged, the advertising team is completely misguided, and the executive team is completely disconnected. At all levels of this organization, they fail. And we're in a situation now where it's gotten so bad that people's real lives and livelihoods are being affected by this. You can say that, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just words on a page or whatever, but when you have conventions, I think this is going to be the last TwitchCon, by the way.
I don't know, if you ask me, a team with crappy moderation, misguided management, and an even worse security team, that's an absolute recipe for disaster right there. And it's me having the sentiment too. I think that this is the last year of TwitchCon. If not, this is the last year you're going to see a majority of creators actually attend TwitchCon, mainly because of this situation. Because this actually brings up a larger issue. The issue is a lot of the crap that you're seeing from the top is very much so bleeding down into the bottom, and it's actually affecting things like the overall like space on Twitch right now. Like it's an absolute hellscape if you haven't actually been paying attention in the last few months. It is absolutely deranged what's going on, and now you're very much so seeing it in IRL spaces. I'll be surprised if we don't see anything coming out of TwitchCon EU, like, I think next year. I'll be surprised. If you ask me, I think TwitchCon EU is actually much more tame than what we got going on over here. That's not even a question, honestly. But if you want my opinion, next time TwitchCon like rolls around, like next year, if that even happens, I wouldn't recommend you go. Especially if you're a streamer who's watching this. First of all, hello chat, hello. Secondly, I would not suggest that you go either, because it could very well be you that ends up, getting the what happened to emiru, unfortunately. And again, with cases like Christina Grimmie, that thing could have very well happened at TwitchCon, and like it would be a completely different story. Like we would be talking about a completely different thing right now. Like again, I would not recommend anybody go to TwitchCon next year, because like you never really know what could happen, and it's very obvious that Twitch will not have your. All in all, I actually meant to record this video a few days ago, but unfortunately I got sidetracked. Like a lot of things were coming up. I just lost focus, and yeah, pretty much just life has been kind of rocky for like the past few months. That's why I've been away from YouTube for a while. I wanted to cover a lot more situations than I actually did, which, the situations that I ended up covering was like one, which, was my last video last video that I made. So again, I kind of want to actually get back into the swing of things. So hopefully I'll see you guys pretty soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below, and comment what you think of this situation. With that being said, I hope to see you again, and I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. So stay safe, avoid TwitchCon. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. Peace out, guys.